And we're live.
Woo.
Hey guys, welcome to the TVN podcast. This is our second round tonight, right as the line of strong thunderstorms is closing in on the New England Patriots game, so that might happen during this podcast. Right now we've got the Mike Scantlin, formerly the head of the Severe Hail Intercept team. And then
Hey!
we've got Josh Alecki.
It's Alisi, Reed.
Alisi?
Lisi.
Yeah, that's how I say it.
How come no one's ever corrected me on that in like 2 years?
In 2 years, like you really said my name in 2 years.
Over the last, it's been a long time, probably at least over a year, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. High Plains Magic expert. Yeah. And,
I just
we got
get
Mike
lucky.
Scantlin from Norman.
Yeah.
He's got the headgear on, even though it's 70 degrees out there, but he said that if he keeps his head warm, then his brain functions a lot better. So it's exciting that he's going to bring a lot to the table during this podcast.
Nice.
Hey. Am I seeing everything right? It's just us three?
So I just got an
that's right.
espresso maker for Christmas. Maria got me one for Christmas, so I've been making them. This is my second one today,
That's
but I've been experimenting with different flavors and everything, but it's good. Probably don't need more
That's
coffee.
kind of cute.
I like your Christmas tree.
Might bring it along with us in the Dominator, plug it in the back, and then get the morning grinds, right near the graveyard shift. I'll park on the side of like I-44 or I-40 and just start pumping out an espresso for everybody just to keep the spotters going strong.
That's a nice service you could provide for the rest of the chaser community.
Yeah.
I'll donate $1.
That's a little under the price of a beef muchacho at Taco Bueno.
Don't talk about food. I'm hungry. So hungry.
Yeah.
So, Josh, you had some. What were some highlights of your storm chasing last year?
Oh,
Pretty interesting days.
a lot of driving, a lot of not sleeping, a lot of luck. That's pretty much what I call it. I don't really brag about anything. I just get lucky. I mean, that's pretty much all it is, a storm chase. And you find a storm, hopefully that one produces. Guess what we could talk about, I think it was Mother's Day. I was up here outside of Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Actually, we were a couple hours north of Scottsbluff in Nebraska. I was hoping for storms to blow up out there off the range, just coming over out of Wyoming into South Dakota and Nebraska line, out towards the Crawford area. Then noticed a few storms blowing up a couple hours south to us. We just started dropping down the dirt roads, ran across a storm. It was coming out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, and once it got around in between there and Minutair, out in pretty much the farmland, it had a nice little rope that it produced. Positioned myself right there in front of it. Cell signal, everything was pretty bad. So we basically just sat right there in front of it on the south edge of it and just had to start watching the sky, seeing which way it was starting to go. It ended up going past us, and then had a nice gust of wind coming up the dirt road, kicked the truck in reverse, started going back, and next thing you notice, it ended up passing us, turned the truck around, and we had a great view on the live stream right there of the funnel cloud. And that was the one you guys actually shared right there on when we were doing the Google Hangouts and Twitter and that.
Mm-hmm.
Got pretty lucky on that one. I was kind of hoping it was going to produce right there in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it would have been great shots. Sun was hitting it just perfect, but
Perfect position. Like, when you're on the backside of that occlusion, it's just bright white.
oh man,
That
Perfect
wall
little cut
there.
right around it.
yeah. And when I sped that video up and did a quick little time lapse of it, I was just like, man, look at that rotation in that. But if my buddy would have had a steady camera hand, man, if he would have had a steady camera hand and not all shaky everywhere, going all over the place, and it would have been a heck of a lot better shot.
Adds to the drama, though, when it's shaky. That's always been my excuse.
Oh.
So I've been shooting shaky videos since 1999.
It always seems like you're doing a great job holding the camera steady until afterwards, and then you're like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right.
Quit zooming in. Quit zooming
Now,
out. What are you doing?"
now, Reed, is that just from you getting stuck all the time in the mud and the Dominator going back and forth and the camera hand going sideways, or?
Just from, I guess, probably just too much passion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think the guy running the camera was just too busy eating hot dogs and beef sticks.
Yeah. That's probably your stretch.
Good
But,
old gas station food.
I used to try to count to 10, I remember, in my head, but the problem then is when I get overexcited, I just count to 10 faster. That didn't work out too well.
I can't count to 10, so it doesn't work.
Well, that Mother's Day chase was intense. The HP supercells, imagine all the tornadoes that probably went unseen because of all the rain that was concealing.
Yeah, well, I think that was a couple days ago, later. Everybody was down in Colorado chasing, everybody else was calling it rain shafts. And then we went out just off the Laramie Range over here in in southwestern Nebraska, outside of Wheatland, right off I-25 there.
Yep.
We were just going out there to test a new camera that my buddy got. Had a nice Canon camera, throw it up on the shoulder. We went out there and just started heading south towards Wheatland. And I just look out, I'm just looking out the window, and I look out to the right, and I'm like, is that a wall cloud starting to form? So I get off the expressway, just kind of angle myself to where I'm looking pretty much west at the mountain ridge there, and sure enough, you just see that thing just starting to wrap around. And I was just like, oh man, that thing's coming together.
When's the last time there was a storm in that area that didn't produce a tornado? It's every single time there's a supercell right there it produces. Right there between Wheatland and Cheyenne.
Yeah, some kind of terrain feature.
Every time.
Yep. Yeah, it has that Laramie Range, that mountain ridge right there with the winds all coming off and
enhanced vorticity zone.
Yeah, it's just a prime area. They get a lot of
I love that. I love that area. I wish the road network was a little better in that spot, but it's beautiful, beautiful terrain.
Yeah, yeah, and what it is there's a lot of rain up there too, and it was just really soft. Had to have the truck and 4-wheel drive. There was water coming out. Yeah, it was very muddy. There's water coming across the pasture, coming across, overflowing over the road. A lot of cattle poo all over the place.
My favorite.
Didn't want to get out, but if you're hungry, there you go.
I see you have a Detroit Lions shirt on there. It's, we share the same team. They should have won there. The Roar's definitely restored, though, either way.
Oh, definitely. They should have been there today. They would have beat Seattle. They wouldn't have choked like Green Bay did.
You're from Michigan, right?
Yep, just outside of Flint. It's called Burton, Michigan.
Yeah, it's good to feel right at home hearing a fellow Michigander accent.
Oh, yeah.
Mine should be coming out by the end of this Google Hangout.
Yeah, I've been out here 5 years in the High Plains. I get made fun of all the time. So.
Sorry?
I said I've been up here the last 5 years. I get made fun of all the time because of my northern accent.
I think mine started going away, but I just remember my mom. She always says, "Oh my God, Reed, that's asinine." I used to say that a lot, but
that makes me miss Terry. That makes me miss Terry Rosema.
Yeah. Lots of our crews from Michigan. In fact, the Dominator was built up in Freeport. Kevin Barton up there, Rob Barton, Top Valley, the build team up in Freeport, Michigan. I don't know if Kevin's watching. I know he's outfitting the Extreme Tornado Tours vans right now, getting all the Lexan windows in place and everything. So getting ready for storm season. It's only a few more months away. So.
And you're sitting there still celebrating Christmas. That's great.
Yeah, we have it because of the Google Hangout. It's delayed taking down the decorations, so starting to sag and everything too. And I'm trying to I've got Christmas spirit all year long, so
that's great. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's Christmas all year long.
It's just easier next year.
The snowflakes are still in the Dominator windows. I saw that today.
Yeah, the wreath I think is probably still in the back too.
Yep, it's there.
Yeah. So, Mike, what was your craziest chase experience of 2014? I'm guessing when that second Pilger #2 tornado was first touching down. It made the direct impact on
Yeah, that was.
or was it getting the windows blown out by the horizontal softball-sized hail near Goodland?
That's a tough choice. It was only like 3 days apart between the two, but I was with Extreme Tornado Tours, and we were having not a great chase day. A day we thought we were going to see a couple tornadoes at least. The storms kind of lined out, and we got in front of a storm with baseball-sized hail reported, and they were being driven by pretty extreme downdraft winds, probably 60 miles an hour. So we had wind-driven softballs coming down, and one of the tour vans took off. They shouldn't have left. We should have stayed, but they took off after taking a huge hailstone into the windshield. I've never seen a windshield take damage like that from a hailstone, but probably the second Pilger tornado hitting us was more extreme than that, to me. The tour guests were probably more scared by the hail than the tornado. The people who were freaking out about the hail coming into the windows were the ones who were excited that we got hit by a tornado. But, we shouldn't have gotten hit by that tornado. We should have kept going north. We had plenty of time to get north of the first tornado right there, and someone else was being a wiener about it, so we stopped and let it cross to our north and got hit by the second tornado. But we should have been right where Dick McGowan was and where Scott Peak was, right there on that intersection north of Pilger. But everyone's an expert after the fact. Everyone's the best storm chaser in the world the day after. So
those armchair quarterbacks, or Monday morning quarterbacks, as they call them.
Yeah. Oh well. We got stuck in the mud. I pulled the van off the road onto the shoulder, and it was soft. The shoulder was soft, and while I was trying to get the van unstuck, we got hit by what we thought was just an eddy in the rear flank downdraft, and it ended up being the second wedge. But so we stuffed everyone in the second van. We had 16 or 17 people in one van and abandoned one of the vans. It's actually in one of the Dominator shots pulling up to the tornado. There's a white van in the ditch. That's us.
You guys abandoned the van?
We abandoned the first van and put everyone in the second van.
Why'd you abandon the van?
Because there was another eddy in the RFD that was coming around. And you can see it in Randy's probe video that's looking straight up. Right over his shoulder, you can see the little cinnamon bun. So we freaked out. Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking there are lots of eddies. It was weird that the tornadoes that day were on the Twins because we were right where the occlusion was coming around, and it looked like it was kind of gusting out. So we went to the east, and suddenly I hear over the radio, Donovan said, "Oh, it's on the ground, it's on the ground." And I got in the radio and said, "No, don't worry, those gust tornadoes happen a lot."
Right, exactly.
We stopped and looked back, and it was a full condensation to the ground. It had been so long since I had seen a tornado like that in that position. I forgot what it looks like, apparently. But.
I've never seen a tornado develop in that area and sustain itself like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, were you on the twin tornadoes?
No, I was actually at home watching you guys, watching everybody stream. I had my son that day. I was actually going to go out that night or leave early that morning. It was probably about 6.5, 7-hour drive to get over there. But yeah, I guess I missed one heck of a show. I remember looking at your guys' stream. I popped over to your guys', and you guys had, as the first one, just started needling down. And then all of a sudden somebody turned the van around or the stream around, flipped around, and started going the other way because you guys had to back out.
Yeah, that might have been ETT.
Amateur hour.
They put the Extreme in tornado tours.
Yeah.
Seth, do you have any questions coming in?
There's a couple starting to come in, but Josh, just to kind of orientate people, you're a member of the WeatherScope team. Is that correct?
Yeah, the WX Scope. Weatherscope.com. I'm pretty much like the co-owner. The main owner is Don Murray. Really super nice guy. Lives out by Atlanta, Georgia. He came up here to the High Plains. I mean, just a little quick thing on how we met. He came up here in the High Plains a couple years ago. Just shot me a message, say, "Hey, where's a good place to, stay for the night?" I was like, "Stop in Ogallala, Nebraska." Well, he told me later on, he was like, I'll get a hold of you tomorrow. Are you going to be out? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be out. He was like, well, show me around. It's like, all right, I'll show you around. Just showed him around. We pretty much just teamed up ever since then. Good buddies. Talk back and forth, and we just, I guess basically the WX Scope thing is something to help other chasers come together, help other chasers get recognized. I know a lot of us get recognized off of these live streams with the fan base through TVN. That's helped me out a lot more. I mean, my Facebook account with friends and all that are just skyrocketing.
Nice.
But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Anybody that wants to learn how to be storm chasers or get noticed out there and get in our nice storm chasing community. So.
Yeah, you guys always have a really dialed-in stream. I notice it's always high quality. So.
Oh, I try my best. You know, that great Verizon. You know, you pay so much money a month.
Ouch.
I got one of those Wilson signal boosters, and those things work great up here in the high plains.
Does that work for 4G?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I didn't think it did at first, and I ended up finding out it did. So.
That's good info.
Yeah, it was a cheap $119 upgrade. So.
Nice. You guys have any plans for 2015 in terms of streaming, you and Don?
I know we're going to stay with TVN as long as we can.
Thank you.
As long as we can make our goal for the Indiegogo. What was that? $50,000.
Yeah, we're working on it. Just $1 at a time, and if people want to help us out, then go to the tvnweather.com website and find the link. So.
Oh yeah, I donated $50.
Wow, thanks.
I paid for my stream for the year.
That's awesome. Thank you.
But yeah, we plan on doing some streaming this year. I was talking to Seth earlier here before we started. I just switched jobs. I'm going through conductor training right now for the Union Pacific Railroad.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a nice chase vehicle.
Oh, I know. And whenever there's a severe weather, tornado warning, anything, we stop the train.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get first.
All those crazy videos that from the trains when the tornado crosses it and knocks it over as it's going along. Probably want to avoid one of those situations, obviously, but I think it was in Illinois where the video happened, but it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is small little, what was it, a F1 or something?
Just
came over top, and all of a sudden you could just see the trees starting to fly. It was all calm, and it's like they had a camera shooting towards the back of it. And the next thing you know, you see the train just kind of tumble over.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
Definitely carry some GoPros on the train with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we can.
One of the train video market, definitely.
I don't know how good the FRA would like us for that, but, you know.
I always try to mount GoPros in my backyard just before I go on a chase if storms or supercells are coming close to Norman, because any tornado that's come within about 1.5 miles of my house I've missed over the years. I always lose the lower and bad, low patience, and then freak out and drive away from where it looks best, because you just can't wrap your mind around it, being close to home.
It can't be this easy. It can't be this easy.
Yeah.
I think you just sit at home and drink some coffee, sitting on your back porch and watch it roll right through.
Yeah. If it does hit my house and nobody else's, just mine, and I had Gizmo out of there, I probably would celebrate, as long as I had some GoPro set up. But.
Yeah, those things work wonders. I love those.
Yeah. Only 2 more months. After the new year, it definitely goes by fast.
Oh, yeah.
Storm season, but let's say it's been a pretty slow winter in terms of snow, but we had it all in that couple of days there at Buffalo, and the 9 feet there all at once. I wish we could have spread that out between about 3 snowstorms.
Oh, that would have been awesome. We got about, I'd say roughly in about a week and a half span, about 17, 18 inches up here.
Lucky.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's been nice in 40s here the last couple days, so everything's all sloshy and freezing over at night because it's getting down in the teens. But
you should do some winter streaming out there.
Every time I was getting ready to go do that when it started snowing and everything like that, I had to go to work.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works out like that.
Yeah, I understand.
You
With
know,
school,
most
I
people.
finally might graduate. Hopefully this spring after somebody ready to join the real world.
There you
Nice.
go.
Proud of you, bud.
Because of storm chasing, then it took this long.
You'll make a great future husband. There you go.
Yeah, that's my plan. Is to play a supporting role
Yep.
for the rest of the way and do chores. I make the bed and everything here, and cook food. I'm exploring new recipes and trying to get a little more balance. So when storm season comes around, we'll be able to really put on the miles, no problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully I can get out a lot this year. We'll see how it does with this new job and that. But
Might have to call in sick a few times.
oh, I'll take my dog to the dog park. Right, Mike?
Yeah. Oh, we had
And
a
also,
blast.
one of the main reasons too I have Mike on here too is we need to, I think, start an online petition to try to get Mike to live stream this season.
Yeah, Mike. Haven't seen you on there.
I don't know what I'm doing this year, man. I don't know
Uh,
if I'm doing the tours or what. I don't know if I'll have a job. I might not. I might be living out of my car come March.
well, you can come up here and work at the railroad. I'll go drive the van.
I do that. I think trains are pretty cool.
All you do is sit there.
I might move up there just for some snow. Like most people now are watching tornado videos on YouTube, going, "Oh, I can't wait till spring." But I'm like watching everybody get a foot of snow down here. It's 50 degrees, and I'm sweating. I want a foot of snow right now.
You'll see plenty of
There's a
snow
severe
nados.
thunderstorm warning just east of here a little bit ago on Long Island, just like 40 miles to the east. There was a severe T-storm warning issued. That looked pretty good.
Why aren't you out there,
Uh,
weekend warrior?
didn't see it coming, honestly. Yeah. I bet there was some water spouts though just off the coast.
Some spouts?
You didn't hear the last Google Hangout. We had Marco Corsac on. I
Oh,
hope that's
Marco.
pronounced.
Yep.
Yeah, but Marco was talking about chasing water spouts in the northern Adriatic Sea, and he told a story about a direct impact from a supercell water spout near Venice that hit his car and was shaking back and forth and everything. But
Nice.
That's amazing.
we
I'm
gotta
gonna have
go
to
out
watch
there
that.
and chase water spouts. I think it looks like textbook water spout chasing terrain.
That's a trip right there.
We got to plan that.
Yeah, consider a plan. We're planning it right now.
I'll get a hold of my my travel agent.
Just upload an old water spout video and just stands from there.
Yep. Let's play it right back there.
Here's a question. Is there any meteorologists that you all look up to?
Reed Timmer.
Yeah, Reed.
Thank you.
I look up to Dr. Greg Forbes. I think he's a great guy. He definitely knows his knowledge. I enjoy seeing him on the Weather Channel. I kind of grew up watching him in that during the severe stuff. Kind of stinks about his health and all that. So I hope you get better, Dr. Forbes.
Yeah, I hope you feel better.
Yeah, get better, buddy.
He's definitely somebody I look up to as well. And to ask another person, Jeff Petrowski, in terms of storm chasing, I always looked up to Jeff. He kind of pioneered the extreme storm chasing video field, I think. So I always loved watching his videos growing up. Tim Marshall, it's another one.
Definitely.
He actually responded to one of my letters I hand wrote a long time ago, back in the mid '90s, I think. And then also Tim Samaras, of course, the late Tim Samaras.
Oh yeah, Tim.
Pioneer of our field for sure.
Well, I guess if we're talking about meteorologists with muscles, Jim Cantora.
Yeah, Jim is definitely look up to Jim too. I watched the Weather Channel for years with Jim. He's got passion, and just pure raw strength too. Intimidating.
I think my favorite on-air meteorologist is Dave Schwartz.
Yeah. My number one favorite on-air meteorologist is the number one Fox meteorologist, Maria Molina, of course. Number one storm chaser, too.
Is she right there?
Yeah, she's right here working on her lightning bolt puzzle
Hi.
that we've been working on for like 2 weeks.
You guys aren't done with that yet?
No, we're not done.
Or she's not done with it yet?
She's not done, but she'll work for a while, then I'll come in and like get like 30 pieces in a row and kind of pop back to the Google Hangout, hit mute, go back at like 50 pieces in a row, come back.
Oh, whatever. I like 2. 1 or 2 pieces.
It's coming along though.
At least you got the corners in, Reed.
I'll hide one piece too. I try to hide one so I can be the one that gets the last piece at the end. Got like 3 of them stashed. Then I forgot that I hit them there, and then can't find them at the end. So, got any more questions there, Seth?
Yeah, here's one a lot of people like to always ask. It's what is your favorite state to chase in and why? And maybe just expand on that a little bit. I was kind of curious about Josh. Josh, what is your area that you typically chase in? I was kind of wondering how far you got.
Well, how far I've got, or where I pretty much like to stick around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen you in the the Wyoming area, of course, but and outside of that a little ways. I didn't really know what your typical area was.
Wherever the storm is. Wherever the storm is that I can be on it by myself. I don't like being where everybody else is at. I know a lot of people like following us TVN chasers around. I mean, because they think we know everything. But I like to be on my own storm. So pretty much wherever the storm blows up, I know, like you said, Wyoming a lot, eastern Wyoming there, southeastern Wyoming, Cheyenne area, a lot of area around west Nebraska. I like the high plains. Last year, I just pretty much started going further out into Kansas and eastern Colorado. Eastern Colorado gets a lot of beautiful things out there. The colorful state. So.
Hi.
Nice.
But I know the beginning of April 1st and 2nd. I know Rodney Nonamaker was talking about it the other day when he was here on Google Hangouts. We actually went down there to Oklahoma that day. That was when Don Murray got that nice supercell, and it was just as the sun was starting to set, just over the border in Texas. All of us were up on the other side of Red River, up in Oklahoma there.
Was that near Booker?
I think so. South was that Sioux Falls or whatever it is down there. I hardly go down there at all. There's so many chasers down there. It's like, I don't need to go down that far.
Yeah, it does. It gets pretty crowded down here. That's why I like Canada.
Hey.
Reed, we can't hear you.
So Mike, is Canada? That's your favorite?
I
favorite
love
place to chase.
Saskatchewan and Manitoba are my favorite places to chase, definitely. And I got my Kramer painting out because Reed's got all these decorations behind him, and I just have this blank wall. So.
I was talking for like 5 minutes there, didn't realize I was muted.
Seth did it.
Yeah, I was thinking if you could just hang out in southeast Wyoming there, though, that upslope, in midsummer, and see a lot of tornadoes, and there's not many chasers there.
Oh, there's a lot of funnel clouds, a lot of things. I hardly ever see any pictures come out of anything around there, unless I'm down there, or I got a couple other buddies around here that don't stream, but I usually meet up with when I see them. I like the high plains. There's nothing like the wide open road up here. There's hardly any traffic. Nobody likes going down the dirt roads unless they're ranchers. That's why I usually chase my truck.
It rarely disappoints, those upslope events. Anytime there's moisture there's something worth chasing.
Exactly.
There were probably 5 different days this year with the tours that we were based in Denver where we didn't think we were going to be chasing, and we were on tornado-warned storms. 5 different days where we thought it was a down day, and we ended up on a tornado-warned storm.
Right. That's how I say, even a bust chase day is better than not chasing at all any day, right?
Right. Any day. That's true.
Oh yeah, it's not a chase unless I'm on a dirt road. That's my saying.
As a storm chaser, you get used to failure early on. So like missing, a lot of. I mean, you don't see tornadoes every time you go out, and when you get used to a lot of clear sky busts. But I just appreciate being out in the field, driving through beautiful prairie, and then it's not as devastating when you miss tornadoes. I think that's key. You got to trick yourself that a bust is a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Johnny Howland sees tornadoes every time.
He's a machine there in the high plains.
Yeah. Got to get Johnny to do a Google Hangout.
We'll get him on next time. Get Tara on too.
Yeah.
Got a giant chases with it. He's
Pet
probably the only
Water
dog
Buffalo?
that's seen more tornadoes than Gizmo, possibly.
Dusty.
Gizmo.
Should get Dick McGowan on as well. If we really want to get some drama on here.
Yeah. Dickie drama.
Yeah.
The petting zoo, live from the petting zoo.
I still think, Mike, even with your background, that Seth still wins the number one. He's even made an adjustment since last time and has made it even better with that glow kind of coming from behind there now.
He is very. That's the best live stream I've ever seen there, Seth.
The guy nailed it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I know. I thought his quilt back there was pretty cute.
You look like Jesus with the light coming out behind you.
Yeah, I had to put some tape some paper over the lights above me too. So if all of a sudden you start seeing smoke and fire, and I run out of here, you'll know what happened.
The red-haired Jesus.
Yeah, I had to do that so it wouldn't look like my head was on fire. With the light.
Yeah.
Take the paper off. I'd like to see. That'd be. I'm done. Dusty, come here.
How long are you gonna grow the beard, Seth? Are you is that a long-term project?
It comes and goes. This isn't the first beard. I trimmed it earlier and then I
Just
growing back
a
out now
couple
again.
days ago.
Yeah.
Copy that.
Here's some questions. Let's see. Here's one asking if you've ever attended ChaserCon, or will you ever attend if you haven't.
Yeah, I did a few years ago.
What was your experience like? What did you think about
It
it?
was a great time. Definitely, it was fun. Learned a lot too. But it was fun, and then we skied afterward with Andy Gabrielson, our old friend, and Dick McGowan was up there. Put those guys in the same room at night, and they're definitely sawing logs in there.
Oh my gosh, you can't sleep.
It was fun seeing all the chasers, and learned a lot about forecasting. See a lot of video; those are always fun. The video parties, and it's I definitely recommend it. Might go this year, and if not this year, definitely the next year. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
the
think I'm
same.
gonna make it this year.
Yeah, with the way work and things are going right now, and trying to get this nice little farmhouse thing going up here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to go. I'd like to go though. I'd like to go and experience in that. I heard Brandon Sullivan's up there going to be teaching model runs and everything like that. That's
That'd definitely be a learning experience.
yeah. Anyways,
I've been twice, and I enjoyed it both times.
I loved it. It's fun, really fun. Never know what'll happen there, and you put a bunch of storm chasers in the same room.
It can be pretty dramatic. After hours, things get pretty riled up at the hotel. Security has to get involved, but all in all, we had a good time. There's a lot of information. If you're looking to learn things about storm chasing, it's definitely worth going.
The thing with Mike is he's gotten too cool to go now, so he just went to his last one.
see, it's the hat. It's the hat.
That's the same when I wore a similar hat in the Buffalo event, Mike.
It's got reflective tape on it. I'm highly visible right now. Look at that.
Yeah, the reflective tape, you need that. Like, I'd probably have 2 weeks worth of non-perishables too stored underneath that flap in the front.
There's a pocket right here for non-perishables. Can of Stewed potatoes, tomatoes.
I'd probably have a piece of ribbon too tucked in there that I could tie in my vehicle too. Like I did all that, the severe weather safety kit all in one.
Yep, you're all about safety.
Safety first.
Safety Officer Timmer. Come here.
Yeah, Josh and Mike, when did you become interested in weather?
Go for it, Josh.
Oh, when did I come interested? Well, being back in Michigan, you know, you rarely get any tornado warnings. You just always see it on TV, the Weather Channel. I don't know, I'm just one of those. It just came to me. I was just like, that's pretty interesting. Started watching the Weather Channel, any little weather flick thing I had. I mean, everybody's answer is going to be Twister. Twister brought everybody into the weather thing. That's still one of my favorite movies, like everybody else's. But being out there in Michigan, whenever finally got my driver's license, had a few little couple tornado warnings one day. Started just driving around trying to find out where it was at. I knew it was over top of this golf course up in northern Genesee County in Michigan there. Ended up seeing a nice funnel cloud up in the sky just hanging off, and just ever since then I'm like, whenever I get out of Michigan, that's what I'm going to go do.
Same way. Yeah, those Great Lakes can definitely interfere with the storms.
Oh, yeah.
Break them up. Amazing winter weather up there, I remember. But the problem is, I remember always during the holidays, we'd have winter storm warnings and lake effect snow events, and then we'd go to the east side of the state where my relatives lived, and we'd drive away from the winter storm warnings. So that was always devastating.
Yeah, that's the side I was pretty much on the eastern side of Michigan over there.
Although one of the two F5s in Michigan history, one was near Flint, right, and the other one near Grand Rapids.
Yep, up by what was that, Flushing, Clio, something like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Oh, look at the doggy.
Mike, how did you get into storm chasing?
Hey, I got into storm chasing pretty early, probably like 7 years old. My cousin was a jerk, and he locked me outside because I was scared of storms. And he locked me outside, and eventually I started to like it.
Yeah.
So,
you also have musical talent, right? So you can also play the bass and then storm chase at the same time. So you're a man of multiple talents, right? Not just storm chasing.
Not at the same time. I haven't done it at the same time.
Yeah.
No.
I haven't played the oboe on the chase yet, but
let's do it. I almost bought a trumpet last night on eBay. We could have a little jam sesh.
Yeah, I'm on board. And Seth, he plays the harmonica too and electric guitar, so we've had a few jam sessions. There's a one on YouTube I know that we did several years ago that
with Big
Root?
No. With Big Root?
Yeah, and Seth on harmonica and oboe and
I remember that.
Well, I'm a karaoke singer, so there we go. We got a band.
Nice.
There we go.
Let's get it
We
going.
got it all figured out. All right.
We'll live stream it if we can hit our goal here in 30 days.
Yeah, we'll recreate that video if we can hit our goal tonight. So.
We should do something too that where if we hit our goal, we'll have Seth where Seth could be just live stream his workstation for a whole entire storm season. His reaction to all the chases. Gotta quarterback him.
Give him the rip his blanket down there in the back.
Yeah. That's where he hides his drone.
Oh.
Of course. All right, we have any more questions coming in, Seth?
I see a lot of them, Seth.
Yeah, do you see them in the Q&A app?
Yeah, I have them over on the side.
Trying to pick out.
I don't have that.
Come on, Mike, get with the program.
Here's
What
one
am I
asking
doing here?
if you've ever been pulled over by a cop while you were chasing, I guess, or. Yeah.
Oh, I got a good one for that one.
Go for it.
It was this year in Goshen County, my home county, just south of Torrington. Driving back north towards towards Torrington to get up on 26 there to head east into Nebraska and stay with the line of storms. I had a state trooper. I was probably doing about 73 miles an hour. A state trooper whipped around. I had my little magnet on the back that said, "Hey, I'm a storm chaser." It's
You
basically
have
like
the
my little.
delivery sign up.
No, it just said the Wild Storm Chaser, and then wxscope.com. But he ended up turning around and he ended up coming right on my tail end, and he was following me for a good 5 minutes. And I was like, man, this guy's gonna pull me over. I slowed down to about 65 there, and next thing you know, he just started backing off, and he just flipped back around and took off. And come to find out, it was one of my buddies there in town. He was a highway patrol guy. And most of them around here in Goshen County and that know I usually chase, and I'm in constant contact with the emergency manager there for Goshen County. So most of those troopers and police officers and everything around there know who I am, so that kind of helps out. But outside of the states, I've actually been pretty lucky. I haven't ran past one.
Yeah, my key is that I just don't break the law.
Hi.
Mike, should you get pulled over at all in the extreme tour vans?
You know, we almost did, and he ended up going after Kenneth O'Greg instead, so that turned out well. He went. I thought we were done for, and he went right past us and went after the orange pumpkin truck. So, yeah. Am I allowed to drop names on here? I didn't say anything bad.
Yeah, you're on a 3-strike plan. You're on a 3-strike plan. You've got 2 right now.
Okay.
3-strike plan.
Thank you, Safety Officer Timmer, for keeping me in check.
Yeah. Well, and you also get an incentive too. So if you give good answers or encourage some good discussion, we take some strikes off. And I'll give myself strikes too.
Okay, we got a system worked out. I like it. I don't have any law enforcement stories, storm chasing.
I have one that involved Katrina. That was the only one.
Oh yeah, you do the dump truck.
Rusty truck, yeah. I told your story too in the last podcast about the Hurricane Isaac and the guy that tried to sell us the Meteor down in the 9th Ward.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I should have done it. I would have bought the Meteor if you guys hadn't intervened.
Well, he was going to give it to us for payment, and Mike showed interest, got real excited about the Meteor, and then he upped the price. He said, no, I'll sell it to you for $50 after we freed his vehicle because the vehicle got stuck, and I thought it was a trap.
So
I saved his life.
It wasn't like the Meteor and Joe Dirt?
It was like a hunk of iron, pretty much.
Okay.
Random hunk of iron. But, I mean, if it was a Meteor, it would have been millions of dollars, but sure.
No, he was just trying to make some cash, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Fast
he's
cash.
hustling. He's a grinder. I think Dick has that on video, by the way. So try and find that.
Well, we need we need a Meteor that's worth about 81%, 71% of our Indiegogo goal now, so. But yeah, that was intense. But yeah, usually with law enforcement, we get along pretty well with storm chasers and work closely with emergency managers, and everything goes pretty smoothly. And Seth recently implemented a reporting structure too with the live page. Now it's integrated with Twitter. So if our storm chasers on the TVN network takes a picture with their phone and they're live streaming, and they put the hashtag TVNWX, and it pops up, and people that live in that location can share it, and emergency workers can see where trees are blocked or debris is blocking roads to get to damaged areas. So I mean, the role of social media in the warning process and storm chasers using it, I think, was ever increasing. Seth, do you have some examples of the storm reporting feature on the live page you want to share?
Yeah. Actually, you can go to the Indiegogo project page, which I'll share with you right now.
Hey, let's take a look.
And if you go to the gallery tab on there, um, you'll actually see a whole bunch of images like screenshots and stuff. And you can see some of these are of the like weather reports.
Yeah, I'm on there too. I think
Talk
twice.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You're on TV, Mike.
So, pretty much all it is, it's a pretty simple idea actually. It's not anything really crazy. It's just basically, you know, we know, we integrate the chasers' Twitter accounts, and we scan all the the latest tweets from the chasers that are currently active on the map and streaming. And if any of them contain both a picture and also a hashtag, yeah, TVNWX, then we simply add that that embedded tweet to the map based on the location where they're at, or using the the latitude and longitude from the tweet. And since we're scanning that, this process is like constantly running. It's fairly accurate in terms of location. So what it lets you do is that if a chaser can kind of like show something interesting and keep it on the map, because often they will stream something that's like noteworthy, like trees or power lines down blocking the road or something like that. But then the chaser has to move on, and keep chasing the storm. So if you're just tuning in or to the application, then you're not going to see what happened before, and so this allows people just to easily see, okay, here's a significant thing or an interesting thing that happened, and it lets them pull it up and view it, even though the chaser might already be in another state or several counties away or whatever.
Hey, Seth, I have a question.
Yeah, what's that?
Do tweets come with an embedded latitude, longitude automatically, or is that something you have to set up?
They do if you enable location to tag that into your tweet on your Twitter client. And if your mobile device has an accurate GPS location at the time, it will embed latitude and longitude. Sometimes you'll just have a rough location, so it will just embed a named location instead of a long. We won't use that, so we'll only use a precise location if that's there, and if not, we'll just base it on your current location. So, and like I said, we're constantly scanning for these, so there's not really much of a lag there.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know
like
that. That's a really cool feature.
Yeah.
That sounds useful.
That's
It'll
a lot.
be during
Yeah.
tornado season how many people use it in the plains. I mean, because we just deployed it really kind of during monsoon season, and it was really good for the flash flooding, I think. It's geared toward emergency workers too. So.
Yeah, I think once more chasers know it's there and they see other chasers using it, that it will start to pick up in popularity. I mean, it's really a good way of kind of getting you in front of the viewers as well, because when you report something like that, like I showed earlier, it shows like the kind of embedded tweet, and they can just click on the follow button to then follow you on Twitter, and get more updates from you.
Seamless integration, Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a
Good idea.
fairly simple idea. I mean, it's just like I said, it's just a background service that just runs constantly, and just
Hey, Scott, how about, I think that I have a question for you is, how did you get into computer programming, and how did you get started, and how did you get into working with TDN? How did you get tricked into that?
That's a good question. Well, for your first part of that, I've always been interested in programming from a young age, and and so I think that kind of curiosity was always there, and so I kind of always, for a long time, I always knew kind of what I wanted to do, and just kind of so it was kind of a no-brainer, I guess, for me. But the other part about how did I get in with TVN was of course I met Reed probably how long has it been? I guess 10 years
Yeah,
over
it's
10 years.
over 10 years probably.
Yeah. So yeah, we met, became friends, and that's kind of what actually really turned me on to storm chasing. Because before that, I seen Twister, but I really wasn't too into storm chasing or anything like that. And even, and it took some time too. I think, knowing Reed, it kind of rubbed off on me slowly over the years, and get more interested into the weather side, stuff like that. But yeah, and then I would say probably, but we never really I guess worked together in that aspect. We were always just kind of more just friends. I think until I guess it was around like late 2011, and then we worked on some climate related data, which was pretty cool, and and basically that kind of got me into I guess Reed sold me on some other ideas, and we started built this live storm chasing platform. We launched that in 2012.
Yeah.
And the rest kind of history, I guess, right?
Yeah. You've done a good run. You saved TBN.
Thanks, Seth.
Indiegogo.
The ship was going down and Seth got aboard. Saved it. Patched the holes. Anybody have more questions coming in?
Yeah. Here's a question. They were asking, is there going to be radar added to the TV and weather app anytime soon? And we're adding it to the iOS and warnings as well. We're adding that to the iOS app right now, so I should be submitting that anytime. Android, I'll have to work on that next, but of course, I can only work on one at a time. So I tend to add it in iOS first, and then come back and add the feature in Android. But that's kind of how that goes.
I just got a text message from Mike. Mike, if you have to go to the bathroom, you can feel free to say excuse yourself and come right back.
I might take the computer in there with me. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'll be all right.
Shut him down.
Help.
Take him out.
Now, it looks like this line of storms is getting closer to the New England game. It's closing in on Providence right now, so.
Yeah, Reed, I agree. I'm watching it live right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, mine's around the corner.
Any more questions coming in, Seth?
Yes, there's some questions, some Kevin Martin questions, but we're going to avoid those. Somebody's wanting to race.
Run?
I maybe while chasing. I don't know.
I have
I see
below
a
average
question here.
below average speed and strength. In terms of driving, if you have to drive long distances, that's when we really shine.
Here's one. What's your favorite tornado documentary? This person has countless VHS tapes from the 90s.
Well, my favorite DVDs is the Eastern Tornadoes compilation. It was done by Bill Hark. I definitely recommend that one. I was trying to look for it the other day, and it's kind of a compilation of a bunch of home videos of Eastern U.S. tornadoes. There's some of the craziest video I've ever seen on there.
What about
Yeah,
you, Mike?
I like the Eastern videos. When I was a kid, I had this VHS tape that I watched almost every day. It was a National Geographic tape about extreme weather, and I would just watch the hurricane tornado parts. But the Andover, Kansas tornado video was on there, and I was just mesmerized by that from that home video. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it. Calm Down, Charmaine.
Yeah, that's
Is that the right one?
my favorite videos from Alabama. I think it was December 30th or on January 2nd, maybe 2008 or something like that. But the guy kept saying, "Calm down, Charmaine. Calm down, Charmaine. Calm down, Everybody just screaming, calm down, Charmaine. But Charmaine was pretty calm the whole time. But the tornado went right by their house. The mud was spinning up and flying everywhere. And I think it was probably during one of those El Nino years. Maybe it was 2007, I think. But a really intense video. We got to find that and play it maybe on the next one here if we can ever figure out how to play tornado videos.
You gotta get that on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Josh?
Yeah, I don't know that. I guess one of my favorite weather ones I've ever seen is I don't know if you consider volcanoes a weather thing, but the phenomena that happens with the sulfuric ash from volcanoes and all that, the nice lightning that comes out of all that. It's just crazy stuff that it does. I think it gets overlooked a lot. Everybody thinks volcano and they think of lava, but the ash and stuff that comes out of that, and it becomes its own little storm. I think that stuff's pretty cool. I seen that on National Geographic before too. So
the pyrocumulus.
Yep.
Might as well spin out water spouts even.
Oh yeah.
Fly there and it goes over the ocean. They'll spin those out a lot. That'd
That's
be fun.
sweet.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about it, but
Yeah, that's always interesting. These other phenomena that will generate their own weather. Kind of like like significant forest fires. Kind of comes to mind too.
yeah. Yeah, that one video with the tumbleweeds. Yeah, the firefighters trying to fight. Big gust of wind came in, picked up all those tumbleweeds, just started spinning around. They all caught on fire, and they had a nice little fire tornado there of tumbleweeds. That's pretty cool.
What in Colorado? The controlled burn?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on night chases? Any close calls at night? I guess we'll start with you, Josh.
Yeah, I had one last year in Nebraska, out south of Lincoln. My roommate and I, who goes on chases with me here and there, we went out there to go chase the next day. We left earlier that day, ended up catching a night chase. The storm started blowing up there, or as the sun started going down. We got on. The storm ended up dropping south of us. We were on the north side of it. Started going down the side road. There's a tornado warning in that area. So we were on the north part there. Started getting the north winds, sucking in there in the the northerlies and that. I don't know if that was. I won't do it again. I can tell you that. I pretty much got cut off. It's just hard to chase at night. You really can't see anything. The lightning show is awesome, but yeah, that was a pretty bad experience there that night. I look at my radar. We're right there in one of the rotation areas. The greens and the reds were coming together. But see, everybody's leaving us.
Sorry, guys. All right.
That's all good.
You okay, Reed?
Yeah, I was just eating at the same time, so trying to get it out of I didn't feel comfortable eating on the live stream. I thought I might have been rude. So I went to the side.
What are you eating?
What?
What are you eating?
Take diesel fuel.
Antifreeze.
What? Oh, we had pasta over from Marie and I go to this place across the street, and we got pasta, and I had spaghetti and meatballs, and she got Alfredo with no chicken.
Mm.
Yeah.
Healthy.
I miss carbs.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I just it's easy to eat healthy out here. I noticed because out in Oklahoma, it's a lot of you eat a lot of gas station food, On Q, Sonic. We eat there almost every day, But here it's impossible to eat. It's impossible not to eat organic food. It's tough. So you don't even need to buy TP.
A lot of hipsters up there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I fit right in. I'm just always up on the latest trends, hairstyles, clothes too.
Word.
So I had to go let the
actually
dogs out.
here in the big city. Honestly, I mean, we got sold these two CDs. One, the guy said that he ran like a comedy thing, and the other one, and so I gave him my credit card, swiped it, and then he stole my identity or something, stole my credit card, and spent like $257 at where was it? At CVS. Who spends $257 at CVS?
That's a lot of
How
ad.
did that not raise a red flag? Or at CVS?
Who swipes the credit card on a stranger's cell phone?
I was a naive Midwesterner. I
You're so nice.
I'm a hardened city boy.
Way too nice. Way too nice.
Yeah. I try to tell him why doesn't he use social media, to try to get his work out there. It'd be a easier way to get his work out there than sell one CD at a time. But what they do is they will say, all right, here, I'll donate you a CD. And then, and then you say, then if you don't pay $10, they come and get it from you again. But I felt like, he worked hard to do the CD, so he deserved the $10, and then, bam. Lesson learned, though. Just got worked out there.
Just so many leeches, Reed.
Yeah. That's $257 I could have donated to the Indiegogo campaign. No, but Bank of Oklahoma, they found it, so they got reimbursed, so it's not a problem.
So we were talking about night chasing, right?
Yeah.
This,
I think night chasing is becoming more doable now with mobile internet technologies. You can overlay GPS position over radar, and I think it's becoming a little easier when you can track the mesocyclone compared to the days before you had mobile radar. You listen to the radio to listen to the warning statements and stuff and monitor the wind direction. If they're out of the east, and there's probably some inflow. If they're out of the west, and it's usually past. But I think it's becoming a little bit easier. What do you guys think?
I love chasing at night.
Yeah.
It's more challenging, and we had some close calls on April 28th, just trying to get back to our hotel after that huge tornado outbreak this year, and ended up having an EF3 tornado miss us by about a half mile, and it did a complete half circle around us. And
ellipse.
And what's that?
Yeah.
And then our hotel got hit by a tornado before we got to it. So
wow.
That was an interesting night.
Where was that at? That was Arkansas, right?
No,
that was
Alabama.
Alabama. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the day after the
story we
Arkansas.
told about the tour van, right? The tour van got into some problems on that day too, driving out there, right?
Yeah,
hey,
we had a negligent employee, is what we had. Yeah.
That worked out after that one.
That's all right. I mean, accidents happen. You have that many miles on the road, it's going to happen sooner or later. But
and those Dixie Alley chases, though, at night, that's one thing characteristic about the Dixie Alley chases. Is they can extend well into the night and early in the morning. I've seen large tornadoes at 9 or 10 in the morning out in Dixie Alley, and it's a tough place to night chase too. And there are more storms. You can have this wave after wave of supercells coming. You can easily get trapped out there because it's not dealing with the road grid that you have in the Great Plains.
Right. It's hard to miss tornadoes after dark out there. We were just trying to get back to our hotel. We were done chasing, and we still saw 3 or 4 tornadoes after the fact. So, yeah, good times.
Here's what. Seth, are we allowed to screen share on here?
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
had a little radar one of my night chase last year in Nebraska. And this was, I lost signal, and then my phone ended up pulling back up. Yeah, that's why I don't like night chasing right there. I didn't have any signal, and then all of a sudden it just, I pulled up, and I'm looking at the sky, the lightning's hitting everything. I see this nice mothership supercell right there, and I'm just looking at it, I'm like, huh. That's interesting, and I finally get my phone finally goes off, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, hey, I got signal. Oh yeah, we better move. So, and it was coming right up at an angle at us. So I mean, it kind of
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's a double-edged sword to having all this incredible data that we didn't have 5 years ago. Is you can become dependent on it, and
yeah.
I know a lot of times when I'm too dependent on it, it ends up getting more hazardous than it would have been without the data in the first place. You know, where you're making smart decisions instead of relying on something that can fail you.
Right.
But you know, it's just like anything else. More knowledge isn't necessarily better. It can complicate things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll try and get that picture of it. Decent one.
Yeah. Let's see that. Did that have a tornado on the ground?
I didn't see anything.
It's pretty
And
nasty coupling.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a crappy picture because it was from the cell phone.
Man, it'd be great to be on top of Mount Washington right now. I'll tell you that. Wow. They're getting.
Century
They
Club.
really are. Hmm?
The Century Club. Getting 100-mile-an-hour winds up there.
Yeah.
Century Club.
I'd say it's just gotten. Precip might have just gotten started there now. Oh, that's pretty heavy, actually. Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's somewhat. I couldn't really see it. I tried lighting and making the picture a little bit better. Like I said, it was from the cell phone. It had to be something right back in there, but that was the perfect little view of the mothership there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Maybe
reckon-
that's off into that RFD gust front. Definitely could be something wrapped around in there.
Yeah, we didn't know. It was just something crazy.
Dynamic piping.
Yeah, that thing was amazing. I tell you that.
Oh yeah, we had an interesting night chase on October 3rd, 2013. Reed, you remember that?
Yeah.
We intercepted a tornado at night in the Dominators, D1 and D3, and then
Yeah.
we got stuck in the mud for 5 hours.
Dropped down right next to the vehicles. You know, you're going along, and then suddenly the Dominators dropped down, and we got passed by a regular vehicle. They saw that we had dropped down, put their cars in reverse, and then gunned out of there. So imagine being just a regular vehicle going down the road, and you see both Dominators just drop to the ground. It's pretty scary.
Yeah. No, I know who that was, and I talked to him later, and he was too busy looking at us. He never saw the power flash that happened. Right
Oh,
in front of
really?
us. So he didn't know that there was a tornado right there. He was racing us to get ahead of it, and then drove right into it with us. So
Wow.
You remember
time.
this? Remember this one last year, Reed? Hawk Springs, Wyoming last year.
Oh yeah,
I remember
definitely.
That supercell
Yeah,
blew up
that
down by.
That was
That was
definitely a
2 years
tornado.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I was back at 2012 or 2013. 2013.
That was
2013. Yeah.
June
13.
6th.
That was when we launched the quadcopter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we-
almost hit Grayson. Grayson from
Yeah.
Outside Magazine, what came out to chase with us, and it was sticking his head out the Dominator. And part of the focus of the article is storm chasing safety, and so we launched a quadcopter to fly it into the wall cloud, and it probably came inches from from hitting Grayson. He was sitting at the Dominator about 200 yards away. So
Yeah. That wouldn't have felt good.
June 22nd, 2013.
yeah, June 22nd.
Yep. Yeah, we came around I was actually out there on that one, and then you guys ended up coming over the road there, and flew past us. I think we turned around.
Fly? It didn't fly for long, but
Yeah, we turned the corner there just as Sean was getting ready to pull the Dominator around us, and you launched that thing. As soon as I turned the corner, I didn't even see you there. Turned the corner, and the quadcopter went up over top of us, and I was like, hey, that was pretty cool.
it almost went. I think it lost a rudder or something when it was about to make the turn around the bend and ride the inflow in there, and I think it lost a rudder and started spinning horizontally. A barrel roll of the quadcopter is not good.
Yeah, that would have been nice if that would have dropped that day, though.
Yeah, it seemed like the cycle after that, we were on the west side of it, so we couldn't see it, but it had a really crazy RFD cascade. It was completely wrapped in rain, but it looked like it was way more intense than the cycle that you just showed right there. Was there a report? Was there a reported tornado on the next cycle there after it crossed the highway?
I don't think. I can't even remember if there was.
I don't know if there were even any
I
roads.
know.
I don't know if anybody could have been in position on that.
Yeah, because once it gets over 85 there, through Hawk Springs, you really can't get over there. You have to drop south and take a highway that goes. Shoot, I think that highway is like 10 miles south of there.
Right.
I think there was a brief gust up on top of the mountain butte before it came down and came into that farmland there.
Man, a few more months.
Oh, it's getting around there.
Please.
I'm not sure if this is the right question for this group, but maybe. Okay. I'm sorry. I guess I read that wrong. They're saying, do you need chasers in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami areas?
No, get out of there.
So yeah, we definitely do. When I first read that, I thought it was saying, have you ever chased in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami areas when I was scanning through that, but yeah, we definitely do. I don't think we really have any that chase down there, or I mean that stream on the app. So yeah.
And Seth, you mentioned we need some more chasers down in the southeast too, especially this, more active than normal subtropical jet stream that's getting started with the El Nino-like conditions.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have, there's a few based out of like Georgia, or Don Murray is, right? Isn't he based out of
Yeah, he's around Atlanta area.
Atlanta? Yeah.
Him and Michael Phelps.
Yeah. And then I noticed there's a new guy who's streams with us this year. I think it's I can't remember his name, but he streams as Chaser from Georgia. Not sure.
I think I saw who you were talking about on there. I can't give his name either.
Bush League.
Push.
It's not nice, Mike.
I seen a question on there, Seth. Somebody said they want to know what my take on the May 21st of 2014, my Wheatland tornado one, and I know we touched on that earlier in the show and that, but that was the day that everybody was in Colorado because severe weather is supposed to be down there, and like Mike said, just had a nice supercell blow up around there, and luckily I was there. I know.
Was that the day that the ETT van was on 3 wheels?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that one, yeah. Right. Wow.
Yeah, we had that.
Wow.
That was an incredible shot right there. We see how the lights making half the funnel white.
That's
That's
nice.
gorgeous.
That was that needle in a haystack is what everybody called it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
that
why you
was.
chase.
Look at this.
It just
Yep.
happened out of nowhere. Like I said, I looked over and there was a nice wall cloud starting to form. We sat there for about 10, 12 minutes, and this little beauty dropped right out of it.
Nice.
I'd take that. I'd take that right about now. Oh yeah.
Oh, that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's real
That could be
nice.
a tornado of the year right there too. I mean,
Oh God.
I'm telling you, if you were right next to that thing, I bet that would be insane. Imagine looking straight up at that funnel, right next to it, with half of it illuminated like that. I mean,
and like I said, all the roads over there were just waterlogged. I mean, they were bad, just rivers of water going over the dirt, and just from all the runoff from the mountain range out there. Yeah, that was a good day. We had the live stream on and everything that day. I don't think that many people got to really witness that much. I didn't have the GoPro running, and it turned the GoPro as it was about halfway done. I was just so excited, after I called it in down there, called 911 in for Wheatland down there, and but yeah.
Was that a day where everybody was on storms in eastern Colorado?
Yep. Everybody was down there in eastern Colorado.
That's happened a couple times where it looks like eastern Colorado is the play on the Denver vorticity zone, and something happens right up on I-25 there.
That day on June 7, 2012, we targeted further north up in Wyoming just because it is more geographically prone up there than Colorado. Even though all the parameters look better in northeast Colorado, seems to happen more at north side.
Yeah, right there along the border there, Wyoming, and just south of I-80 there.
Yeah. There's a constant tornado watch there during June. Every afternoon you'd have to. It's the only way.
Saving lives.
Saving lives. Oh yeah, there's a lot of windmills down there too.
Reed, I see a question here on the Q&A. Why have there been less tornadoes or less hurricanes in the last few years? Why haven't there been any good landfalls?
Well, globally there have been. I think globally the number of tropical cyclones is normally conserved, but in the U.S. it seems like the years when there have been a lot of tropical cyclones, they're recurving before they hit the coast, probably because of the further east position of the Bermuda High, so you get the recurving east of the U.S. East Coast. So you don't have the tropical cyclones that keep going west in the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico, and like you did in 2005 and 2004 as well. But it seems like the number of waves coming off Africa too are conserved as well. And even the strength of those are still there. But I think that the conditions climatologically over the Atlantic haven't been very favorable too. So they've been ripping apart those tropical waves right when they come off, and maybe it's because of general. You're not really getting a lot of La Nina conditions too, which in the Pacific, which are more favorable for tropical cyclones in the Atlantic Basin. And now, kind of with the almost near El Nino conditions emerging in the Pacific, it's making conditions even that more harsh for tropical systems in the Atlantic. But I think once we get to return to more La Nina-like conditions, we'll probably get more tropical cyclones into the Gulf. They seem to come every 2 to 4 years or so. Periods of activeness. Well, it takes one, though.
Yeah, that's right. Word. Scroll through some questions here.
Here's one that's asking, what's going on with tornado research in the academic community? Anything like Vortex?
I think one of the most recent updates of that one, the latest model, right, that came out, the El Reno simulation. You might know more about that. You guys might know more about that than I, but I think that there is one of the most detailed, high-resolution tornado simulations based on of all the radar and mesonet data and everything collected around it. You know anything about that, Mike?
I haven't heard a single word about that, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look into that. That sounds pretty interesting.
I'll find it and post something later on tonight about it. So.
Good deal. I've been out of the loop. I'm off the grid.
You can't be much more on the grid than a Google Hangout with TVN, though. Worldwide.
That's true.
Here's one you all might know about. Somebody's asking, what's happening with the permanent memorial marker for Twistex in El Reno?
From what I've been told, the guy who owns the land is a little back and forth on what's going to happen there. I haven't heard anything about it in a couple months, though. So, I know the guy that's in charge of it is one of the best people I've ever met. You know, he was out there. His own area got hit by a tornado, and he was out there helping us try to gather up the Twistex stuff that was thrown from their vehicle. And, you know, he was very helpful with us, and, you know, I trust him 100% with getting it done.
Was that the law enforcement officer they're talking about in this question?
Yeah, that was one of the Canadian county sheriffs. His name escapes me right now. Yeah, I don't remember his name, but one of the best guys I've ever met. Great dude.
Yeah, he was out there when back at the beginning of April when we went down there for a couple days of was hoping to chase, but we
Mhm.
stopped there and visited the memorial site, and he was out there I think in a road grader. Uh, he ended up
Yeah.
stopping us and that, and because we really couldn't find the site, I knew it was right there around the corner somewhere. But then he stopped us and he was like, "Yeah, it's right up there in the road." But yeah, he was a super nice guy. He used to be a state trooper, and he ran for. I think he said he just recently ran for county sheriff there.
hmm
So yeah, he's a super nice guy, really nice.
Yeah. Just one of those classic, Oklahoma farmer types. Just do bend over backwards to help anybody around there. So I know some of his land got hit by that tornado, and he had some one of his large. He has a big shop, and his shop got hit. And instead of cleaning up his own, mess, he was out there helping us. And that meant a lot to me to have somebody helping us out, because there were people who owned land around there who didn't want us there, and he was pretty much running, uh, allowing us to do what we needed to do, even though the people who owned the land didn't want us there. So, I'm very grateful for that.
Very understandable.
Yeah.
This is another question. Amongst the chaser community, there's always passion and competition. Would you agree there's the occasional competition?
I think there definitely is. I mean, at any time. I think with storm chasing too, it's kind of like poker. There is a lot of randomness out there, so that probably makes it even more competitive. I mean, I think any person, any storm chaser, any time can get an incredible video out there or see a lot of tornadoes. But I think it helps too, because the more storm chasers you have out there reporting live underneath the storms, or helping out the warning process, the better. And it's really difficult for a tornado to go unseen and, more importantly, unreported these days. So, you guys.
Oh,
Woo!
I'm sure he'll be back.
yeah. There's a
Reed, where are you?
Reed. Where'd he go?
Are you okay? I like the friendly competition aspect of it. There are people who don't get along, and people who want to take time out of their day to tear other people down, and I've been like that in the past, and I don't like it. I think it's sad that people within the same community who should have a common goal want to take time away from that common goal to produce negativity. And but whenever the competition's friendly, I'm all about it. It's good times. Joking. Some of my favorite competition I've seen in the chaser community is between Reed and Dick. Whenever they're chasing in different cars, and in group chat, they're just back and forth, just what are you doing? Why are you turning here? Or why'd you miss this tornado? Why am I out chasing you? You're the best chaser in the world. Stuff like that. It's always good times with us, on the team. And I'm sure Josh has some buddies that he likes to mess around with whenever you see something that one of your buddies doesn't see. It's always good times.
Oh yeah. He was on a couple days ago. Rodney Nonamaker.
Yep.
Yeah, him and I go at it a lot. We tease each other a lot. It's all fun and games. You get us in. When we went down to Oklahoma together, I stopped there in Hayes to pick him up and take him with us. And he likes to forecast. I like to forecast and drive. I love driving. I don't let anybody else drive. He was doing radar and that, and I'm looking at my hand, my cell phone, and I'm looking at radar. I'm like, oh, we need to go this way. Oh, no, they're gonna go up over here. Yeah, sometimes you just got to set it all aside. I mean, it's all friendship. And then, yeah, you have a lot of people out there in the community. I got a lot of people on Facebook. I see things. I try not to. I don't get involved in that nonsense. Basically, I like to keep things professional. I'm a professional chaser. I enjoy it. I enjoy Mother Nature. I'm not out there to rag down on somebody and run them in the ground unless there's certain somebody with a store nickname. But other than that, yeah, there's always going to be competition out there. It's all fun and games though, till somebody gets the better video.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's always another chase coming up. So.
Yep.
The proof is in the pudding. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I mean, bring it up again. That Wheatland tornado one this year. I heard there's a lot of people that were upset because I got that needle in a haystack there, that nice sunset little brief needle, and everybody else was chasing rain shafts down in Colorado. But it's just how it happens.
That's weather.
Yeah, the weather's different. Everybody gets lucky now and then, and I got lucky that day. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. There's a lot of luck involved in storm chasing, man. I think more than most people realize, and all the people you're seeing that are seeing a whole bunch of tornadoes that other people aren't seeing, it's not because they're better at storm chasing particularly. I mean, sometimes it is. Obviously, some people are better than others at storm chasing, but it's more about the phrase, you can't win if you don't play the game. And you're not going to see a tornado that other people didn't see if you don't chase events that other people aren't willing to chase.
Right.
And Reed says it all the time. The question is not whether or not to chase. That's never a question. That's not a question. Chasing is always the answer, even if it doesn't look great. I've seen some of my best tornadoes on days that most people didn't think were worth chasing. So, and I think other people would agree with that, and some people want to pick and choose their setups just out of being stubborn, not because they have to work or just I think it's going to cat bust, so I'm going to stay home. And then you get 2 supercells in northern Kansas that produce a handful of tornadoes, amazing tornadoes. I'm talking about May 25th, 2012, where a lot of people didn't chase because they thought it was going to be a cat bust, and it on paper it looked like a cat bust. And but you never know. You never know what's going to happen. So.
Yep, I've had people like that too. Oh, it's going to be a cat bust. You ain't going to get anything, and then boom,
yep.
you get a nice supercell right there.
Yeah, I like a lot of the fun competition that comes from those type of events. That's always fun. Memes making fun of people who decided not to chase.
Oh yeah.
That's competition I can get chippy about, because if you're deciding not to chase on a day that could produce tornadoes, you're not a storm chaser to me. If you're not willing, that's a part of storm chasing, being willing to fail in order to, reach a goal.
Yep.
You can't be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to fail.
It's like I'll be on, that's like I said, I like going on my own storm. I like being on my own storm while everybody else is on something else. I think a lot of you guys, I can't remember if it was the Bennington one or not, and I was on the storm that was west of that, and everybody was over there. Hey, I didn't bother me at all. I enjoyed seeing everybody's picture. I liked it. At least people got pictures of it, and nobody just talked about it. I like to see pictures.
Right. I missed that. I was in Kansas City with Dominator 3 and Kevin Barton. We were getting the vehicle taken apart. It was like 2 hours from us, man. We should have been there. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I missed the Pilger one. This year was my my biggest one that I missed there in Nebraska. That's not that far for me. Yep. And then what was it? The year before, we had I can't remember that town up there, Wayne, Nebraska.
Oh yeah.
Wayne, Nebraska.
Actually,
there's a question on that.
Somebody was asking that. I was about to bring that one up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that. Yeah. Or you missed that one? You said?
Yeah, I missed that one. I know we were out there. I was actually that's why we went out in Nebraska when I did that night chase the night before. The next day we were up in Iowa, just over the river there, and we were waiting for storms to blow up. They're supposed to blow up around there just north of Omaha, and then come right there into Iowa, but the front ended up stalling over there in eastern Nebraska. I saw all the other chasers going up over there, and all the little red dots. You know how they start going up the map. And I'm
Yep.
like, yeah, I'm not gonna. That's gonna be a big old fest. And then, sure enough, I missed that, and I'm, 2.5 hours to the east of it. So I got the stuff at night and got to go through a few areas. And yeah, if you ever see a sign when you're going up a dirt road and you're doing about 60 miles an hour going north trying to catch up to a storm, and you see a sign that says gravel ends, that means you should probably slow down.
Yeah. Well, earlier I mentioned us being stuck in the mud for 5 hours. It was actually the night before that,
Oh,
and we saw a couple tornadoes near Palmyra and just northeast of Lincoln right there, and then we got stuck in the mud with Dominator 1 and Dominator 3, and we ended up not getting back to our hotel till about 4 in the morning, which led to us being late getting up the next day and being behind that arc of storms as they developed and moved north. And, we were just playing catch up all day, and we ended up not seeing much. We did see the Wayne tornado from a long ways away, but the tornado was 2 miles wide.
yeah.
The base was really low to the ground, so we just barely caught a glimpse of, what we thought could have been a wedge, and then the reports started coming in, and we were behind that whole day. So
that day kind of stunk, because that whole front stalled, and it didn't push east like it was supposed to, and
right.
and I messed up on that day because I was going with my buddy Don Murray. I was like, well, you can go ahead and forecast chase for today. I usually look at all this stuff too, and so I went off of what he wanted to do, and we both had separate vehicles that day. So, but I thought it was a good idea. We had a great view in that, looking over the river if anything blew up. So it was just getting on the other side of that river, and I was like, yeah, well. And that was the day, actually. I think later on that day, Reed had that little mishap and had to go to the hospital that night.
We had a medical condition that day, and
Yeah,
that was right as that storm was maturing, and the storms to the east started going crazy as they crossed into Iowa. But when we were at the hospital, I was chasing on foot, and I ran up to this hill, and there was a new storm had gone up just over Sioux City, and it had a little occlusion. It didn't even have rain. It was a low precipitation updraft, and it had a little occlusion on it, and they ended up tornado warning it a couple minutes after that. But yeah, that wasn't a good day.
Yeah, that was a horrible day for the community there for Wayne, Nebraska, and you guys, up there chasing too.
Yeah, they dodged a bullet there because some of our friends were driving through town ahead of that tornado, and there were people just going about their business, just like it was a rainstorm, and they had no idea that there was a 1.5-mile tornado just half a mile away, and they were actually yelling in their video. You can hear them yelling at people that they need to get underground, and people are laughing, literally laughing out loud at them like they're nut jobs. And then, F4 tornado misses town by half a mile. So.
Yeah, I saw that video. The guys were rolling through. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, I seen them driving through there, and then they ended up dropping south of it. They had to get south of that storm because it ripped through the north part there of town or something.
Yep. Yeah, close call. But you would think that people in that area would be more weather aware, even in the fall. But but I mean, to someone who isn't a weather nut like us, it's kind of strange for someone in October to be telling you to get underground, and you don't have the tornado sirens going off, and you're just like, what are you talking about? It's just foggy, rainy, drizzle, and then mile-wide tornado.
Yep, and see, I don't like chasing the fall really that much, just because it's the daytime, Sun goes down a heck of a lot earlier than what it does in the spring and summertime, but you never know. I mean,
and they tend to be grungier.
Last year.
lower temperatures mean lower cloud bases, and the storms tend to be more grungy. But
do y'all ever think there will be another TV series like Discovery Storm Chasers?
In Canada.
Hey.
Oh. I hope so. I know there have been a couple attempts since then that ended up just being super lame. I liked Storm Riders on the Weather Channel. I think Simon and Justin are some of the best storm chasers and meteorologists out there, and I enjoyed watching them chase. I've always loved Simon's videos from even back in the day with Jim Bishop and Reed, and on Stormgasm.com. Those are the first extreme tornado videos I ever saw, so always been a big fan of the Storm Rider guys, and Tornado Road was a joke. But I'd like to see more storm chasing on TV just because it does have negative effects on storm chasing because you have everyone wanting to be a storm chaser and you get a bunch more people on the road than you would usually have, but it also increases awareness. It's kind of a double-edged sword. And, it's good for us. Business-wise, if storm chasing is being seen more on TV, then, we got more people searching online for tornado videos, and that leads to good business for TV and weather. You get more YouTube hits. You got people buying videos from the store, people buying, the series online, and I'd like to see that happen. I don't know if it will, because production companies don't like to redo ideas that have been done. But, after enough time, I think it'll happen.
Well,
What do you think?
If you need a driver, here I am.
We're going to need a casting tape. We need video of you doing some extreme driving.
I can get that covered.
Do you know who Ken Block is? Can you do Gymkhana?
No.
Love those videos.
Yeah, I'd like to see another Storm Chasers. I know I watched it on Netflix last year. I finally got around to watching it. I like the series. You guys did a good job. Mike, you had a couple nice shots there. I enjoyed it. I mean, the whole fighting thing like that. I mean, that's a lot of people don't realize, but like when we touched on that earlier, that happens when you're out there with guys all the time like that. You're gonna have fits and stuff like that. Guys are tired. They're hungry. Been on the road forever. I mean, it happens. I mean,
yeah.
I had a lot of late years this year, and like I said, I don't like giving up the steering wheel. I love driving. My partner and all that buddy that went with me a few times. He's always like, "Dude, you tired?" Nope, I got a monster right here. I'm good to go. Let's go. So.
Yep. Don't be a hero. Let someone else drive. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if I get tired enough and I start like, oh yeah, I'll jump over. But
Yeah.
no, I'd like to see another Storm Chasers. I think it'd be cool. And I know, like you said, Mike, a lot of producers don't like doing that. But even if you could just do a continuation, I mean, you got Boondock Saints, 1 and 2, and they're finally coming out with a third. I mean, how many years later?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easier said than done. So I mean,
I think what's scary about it, why nobody's pulling the trigger on a new storm chasing show is because there was one really successful show on the Discovery Channel, and then a couple of shows that kind of failed. And if the interest is fading, why put money towards that? So they come up with new ideas, and Dog the Bounty Hunter ends up with another show somehow.
Oh. Yeah, that's getting pretty old.
Hey, he's back.
What do you think, Reed?
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
Yeah, you're a big Dog the Bounty Hunter fan, aren't you?
I watched it quite a bit back in the day. I know he's doing those support calls now, right? Where you pay like $30 to talk to him for an hour to get advice and stuff.
Yep.
I think Seth has called him quite a few times, just hammering the line. My computer keeps on blue screening. Seth, it's still that same problem that it was before. I thought it was fixed since the last time, but it still happens every now and then that I didn't want to turn it in until I got my dissertation done. So every now and then it'll do that, and I just restart it like 4, 5, 6 times, and it finally works.
Are you using a Mac? I didn't know they blue screen.
Oh, it's like a gray screen, kind of.
Oh,
Okay.
that's weird.
Like a lighter colored gray. Then when I restart it, it has all these red lines on it. It's the same
You have to plug it in.
that we talked about last time.
Seth, it sounds like a good wedding gift there for Reed.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of support.
Yeah. No, this guy's hard on hardware, rough on hardware.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Goes
Yeah.
through it very
Yeah,
fast.
as an extreme meteorologist, and I need an extreme piece of hardware to get work done with a computer.
Alienware.
Yeah.
So the Dell Toughbook can be dropped from like 5 stories up, and it can work underwater, and you have destroyed at least 4 of them.
Oh yeah, the Dominator did, not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, man, if it does that to a tough book, imagine what it's doing to our lungs. All the brake pad dust and the dirt flying through the air and all
Yeah.
that. But you know,
Yeah.
it's worth it to get out there and try to dominate the storm.
I miss riding in the Dominator. I only got to chase with you guys once this year, and it was good times.
My favorite's the Dominator too, because the suspension's so blown out that when you go off bumps, it's like a teeter-totter. It goes back and forth to where it bottoms out, so it just rocks back and
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah, on Interstate 44 down by Lawton, when you get into the waves, yeah, it's really fun.
If the right groove is spaced right in the road, that it'll really
Yeah.
start rocking.
The frequency, it starts to, good times. I like Dominator 3. It doesn't have enough character. You know,
Yeah.
it's too nice. You know, having air conditioning and it doesn't smell like moldy butts.
Just Sean's right now in the winter.
Yeah, he takes much better care of that thing than you would. Yeah.
Dominator 3 just needs some time. It's like a pair of jeans, I always say. You know, it's like you really start enjoying a pair of jeans the more you break it in, but when you get a new pair of jeans, you don't like it at first. And then you like it, but I mean, you don't get attached to them until you've gotten a few chases in that pair of jeans.
Yeah. I've got a favorite pair of basketball shorts, but I don't wear jeans. So.
I always wear
We're
jeans.
having training up here in basketball too. So when the spring comes, we're gonna come down there. She's gonna play point guard and shut you down on defense.
Yeah, I could see her being like a Steve Nash kind of player.
Kind of like a Gary Payton kind
Yeah.
of defense, I would say.
GP, yeah,
Like
I
the
see
glove.
that.
She's really shifty. Lateral movement, quick lateral
Yeah.
movement.
I can see
Natural
that.
point guard.
She just kind of glides. Yeah.
Mhm.
Can she hear us right now?
Yeah, she's still working on the puzzle and looking at wedding locations now. Or if they about in Nicaragua, the volcano that erupted. She's pulling out videos of people fleeing the eruption in 2008 because hoping that'll happen. 2000, or not hoping it'll happen. If it does, she's coming up with evacuation strategies for everybody if it erupts.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. It's
They don't have
safety
any
first.
fences up there blocking it off. So
I'll
speaking
build one.
of pyrocumulus, we'll probably be fleeing one in about a year here. We'll live stream it if we can hit our Indiegogo goal. That is here in 30 days.
I can live stream some earthquakes. We had a 3.6 here. Yeah, very intense. Very intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you post about it?
No.
Yeah. I'm just hoping for a big one, so I'll finish that crack above my driveway too.
Hey, one of the guys down the street had the same crack, and he actually lost a couple of bricks into his driveway. So, yeah, seems like a construction flaw there. Joel Taylor Real Estate, classic.
Yeah.
Hey, who's winning?
New England.
What's the
That line
score?
of storms is getting close on here, so
Uh-oh. Storm's coming in.
Uh-oh.
it's gonna hit.
Yeah, we're having a little watch party in here. You're on. You're on. Wave. Courtney.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, it's coming in right now.
Oh, we got big problems. We got to get underground. Well, looks
All
like
right, guys.
Well, is there anything you'd like to add before we close? I think we answered most of the questions. Josh?
I'd like to thank Josh for coming on. Fellow Detroit Lions fan, always delivering a high quality stream all the time. So thanks a lot, Josh, for coming on.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
Too.
Josh.
Josh, thanks.
thanks.
Thank you, Kramer. for joining us.
I know. This year we ran around you. I think we stopped before you guys a few times. Reed, we were gonna stop in, just say thanks for letting us stream in that from the whole WX scope. A few of us crew and all that. Don Murray and us. But I think it's pretty cool you guys let us stream and all that. Help you guys out and all that. So if I see you guys out there, I'll swing by and meet you. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Shake your hand, say what's up.
It'd be fun. If you guys ever need a place to crash in Norman, let us know.
Yeah, we'll hit you up there.
All right. And Mike, it's always great to see you. I'll be back in Norman here in a few days, so
We miss you.
meet up.
All right.
Don't worry, I'm coming home. It's all right.
Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry.
All right, guys. Good
All right,
times.
Seth.
All right. Thanks everyone for coming on, and thanks everyone for watching. And by the way, just one more friendly reminder to contribute to our Indiegogo project. If you haven't done so already, it's pretty easy to do, and whatever you can do helps. And it'll,
Every dollar counts.
yeah.
$1 at a time.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for being on. Thank you, Josh, for being on. It was awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, late.
All right.
Never stop chasing.
See ya.